Yeah. I know where I am, though. Or I should say, I know where I am. I know exactly where I am. On the map and everything. Well, almost. You've never shown us the actual blowed up version of the village. But...
Right, yeah. Valaki actually doesn't have... I don't think it... Does it have a map? Let me see.
Well, we don't need it. I was just saying.
Oh, no, you're right. I don't think I have. That's a quick enough thing to... It's right here next to the page that we're on, so I don't mind showing y'all that. Let's see how that looks from... Oh, I think I've showed you this before, because there's the picture of Kaidos in the lower left. Giant Kaidos token.
I don't know, I gotta fix my map.
Yeah.
Oh.
Giant Kaidos.
Yeah, with the old art, even.
So, that's where Kaidos is, but we're in Valaki.
Yes, Kaidos is back in Kresk with the abbot.
Yes.
So,
Now all we need is...
in front of the Burgomaster's mansion. There's Kaidos. Alright. Get some music here.
Our beloved Artesia. Back from wedding planning, I assume.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
that's-
I was finagling with my settings.
No problem.
Let's see. My Midnight Syndicate playlist.
Hey, can you hear me?
There you are.
Hey,
Barely.
man.
Yeah, how's it going?
Hello? You there, Dan?
Hey, now I can hear you.
There he is.
Okay.
Beep boop.
Beep boop.
Bob, football.
Okay, so I think we'll do Mansion in the Mist.
I'm so glad that we are all together again.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a couple months, I guess. Yeah.
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 Between
Yeah.
holidays and then just everything that's happened to all of us. It's just been a fucking mess.
And the weather.
Yeah.
Which isn't that great today either.
No.
Coming bot.
It's supposed to get worse later, Eric. And Dan.
Yay. I'm driving to Dallas tomorrow. Gross.
Oh, good. It's supposed to rain 100% tomorrow.
Can we get an F in chat, boys?
Yeah, I'm over here paying my respect.
Oh, these new dice don't like me. Oh boy. Alright, I'm gonna switch dice. Not good. Two
Well, you
ones
gotta-
and a 7.
But that's the thing. You gotta warm them up. Michelle. You gotta warm them up. So get those nasty rolls out of the way now. What do you think I do before every session?
That's true. That's true.
Of course, then I've had some pretty shitty sessions sometimes too. So.
Oh no.
Well, you remember there? I did have that one session where I couldn't roll higher than like a 14.
Oh god, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Greg, I did have a question for you.
Sure.
I imagine that given the journey, I would have recovered those the lost hit point maximum, or no?
Yes. Given the journey and the amount of time that's passed, you would have recovered that with a long rest by now.
All right.
And yeah, let me get my... Okay, recording is going already. Good. Make sure I've got Juke Bard loud enough on my end to hear. There we go. And yes, we're actually going to open kind of around the time that you are knocking on, just to... I don't know if I lined this up correctly with the timing before, but we'll go ahead and set the timeline now. Around the time that you're knocking on this door, is first thing in the morning, Kaidos, you wake up in a spare bedroom that the abbot had set up for you. And as you cobble yourself together and pull yourself out of bed, it's around the same time, though you don't know it yet, that your companions have knocked on the door at the Burgomaster's mansion in Valaki. And as you step out into the main hall, the abbot has his censer resting on the mantelpiece. And he told you last night that in the morning he would be prepared to send you on your way with tools to better assist you in your current state. And what happens over the next few minutes is he has drawn a little circle of salt in front of the fireplace. And it looks like a mandala. It's very, as opposed to the spell circle that Carpedagia drew around you, which looked like it had different phrases and different languages interspersed. This looks like it's just an artistic design. Simple, it's only a few layers out, but he finishes drawing it with this little pouch of salt, and he motions toward it and says, "Please, step here."
I suspect that it would have taken me a good bit of energy to get back up out of a bed and to,
Yeah,
move into this hall, into this area.
consider yourself having like a full rest and regaining your key points before getting out of bed, and it's taken you a full key point to get here. What's your max normally of your key
7.
point? 7? Okay. Yeah, it's taken you a full key point just to kind of get to this point.
We didn't level up at any point in time that I wasn't aware of, right?
Not that I believe. No,
No.
you're level 7, right?
No. Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah, so that's no problem. If I had gotten a full rest and had my full, then I spend one to get here, just to get myself out of the bed and get myself moving.
Yeah. He, once you step inside the circle of salt, he steps in with you and puts his hands out in front of him, palms up, as if to take yours.
My head will roll backwards as I redirect the energy into my arms to lift them up, place my hands in his.
As you do that, it's almost as though both of your hands were magnetic to his, and as if his were metal. And then you feel as though that string that's connecting you pulls you tight as each of your joints reconnect. But for every action, there of course has to be an opposite and equal reaction, and you watch as the abbot's form takes on a very floaty and disjointed posture. And instead of crumpling into a pile, much as you had done at first, there's just this hum of light that seems to fill these gaps for him. And he says, "This will last you about a day." As this convergence happens, this transfer happens, and you lock together as one whole being again, a weird human shade of your former self. There's a small burst almost like a pop of energy, and all the salt mandala just gets scattered completely. And he just kind of floats backwards away from you. As his head kind of floats above his shoulders, the image of his face flickers and fades, and it's just the glowing white light that had been there before in his true form. And he says, "This will last you roughly a day. Your companions are going to need your help in dealing with they're knocking on the Abyss's door, and they're not yet aware of it. I saw it when I scryed on them this morning. You must make haste to them. If you start running now, you can be there in about 8 hours." And it's about this point where there's a sound like the ripping of a great curtain, or perhaps even the curtains of this hall. And as that sound rips open a hole in reality with glowing green light, Strahd von Zarevich steps through with his arm slung lazily around Artesia's shoulder, and he's laughing as though she's told him some sort of joke. And he takes his arm off of her and says, "I'm so sorry that I took your bard from you for... Where is the rest of the part? What the fuck happened to you? And what is happening here? Abbott, the fuck?" The Abbot, his image seems to be flickering a lot. What's left of his body there's a lot of just light now more than there is form. And there's a humming, buzzing response. You can tell that there are words in there, but it's too garbled. And Strahd just kind of looks, he's squinting at this brightness from the Abbot. The light isn't fading, but the form is just unstable. And so he's squinting at this brightness, and he's... right, whatever. Where is the other half of your party?
Dan?
Either one of you?
Not here, as you can see.
Abbott? Oh, I have to do everything myself. One moment. He reaches into his hip pouch and pulls out this tiny little but gorgeous crystal sphere. It looks like the whole sphere is a tiger's eye. It's about the same size as a golf ball, so there's always that equatorial line that's looking at you in the steel gray gradient of this ball. And as he lets go of it, it floats in front of him, and his eyes glow white, and the ball goes clear. And there's a rushing of wind sounds, and the mists part within the ball. And he's looking at the front step of the Burgomaster's mansion in Vallaki. He says, "Oh, they were quick to abandon you. This will be fun to watch. Here, it was my fault. You're probably all separated anyway. I don't want to hear you all whine about it. I have a fiancé to get back to, and the wedding that is now much closer to being ready. Thank you, Artesia. Go on now. Go. And he draws a line in the air with his fingertip and just kind of boots both of you through it. And
Before he does that, Artesia just kind of wants to smile and be like, "Hey, you're welcome," and be like real friendly with him.
All right. Where is... He's like, next time I'll give you, you're right, it was rude of me. I'll give you more warning and not just yank you away. Clearly that seemed to have caused some problems, so...
Well,
here!
I'm quite literally the glue that's holding some people together, apparently, so...
He just looks over at the Abbot, still visibly confused. The portal back to his castle is kind of glimmering behind them. The rest of you are... it's funny, because what Vin and Nero see and hear is Kaidos and Artesia suddenly appearing in this, again, that sound of a great curtain tearing. As the Lord of the Land bridges a giant gap, you can see through this portal that they both appeared through to the Abbey, and then beyond that another portal where his great hall is. It's very disorienting because it's all happening on this weird two-dimensional circle that's just been torn open. He gives a little finger waggle at Vin and Nero and just flicks his finger, and the portal closes behind Kaidos and Artesia.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Upon hearing the ripping, I spring around and notch an arrow at the ready. But, that's just
Roll to hit.
instinct.
If you wanna fire at the dude that bit you last time, you absolutely have that option in the time that it's open.
No, I'm just gonna notch the arrow to see what's going on. But then if he's depositing people, it's like I just want to make sure that if he aggresses, that I am ready.
Oh no, it's definitely a. He actually, the only thing you really hear from him is again, sorry about that. Didn't mean to take your bard. Sorry if it caused problems. But bye now.
Yeah, I call out. I'll be at the wedding.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Have I already knocked?
Yes. Baron Vargas Valak is just yelled, "What do you want?" And you went, "Your wife's wedding dress," and he's just kind of standing there, wall-eyed, like, "What?" Has this clearly drunk expression on his face when this maid comes skittering up from behind him, and is just like, sorry, Baron, come. Your wife is expecting you in the sitting room. The Baroness is having tea. The commoners, remember? All right. Come in, commoners, come in. Have tea with me and wife. And he just kind of stumbles down the fucking hall. Thump, 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 thump. I've got to delete some dynamic lighting things real quick. Hang on.
And
Why did you sound like Final Pam?
Maybe
then
he
we'll
is.
do a double take, realizing that Artesia and Kaidos are there. Does she even recognize Kaidos with that he's red and stuff?
Yeah, they just real quick, so that way y'all know you have some time to talk for a few minutes, because the maid and the Baron, they leave the door open, but they just kind of leave you to your devices. So yes, as you turn and look, it's clearly Artesia, and it's Kaidos. It's not, but that's definitely him.
Kaidos?
As soon as Kaidos went through the tear and saw who was here in front of him, he would have immediately fallen down on his knees and like hands in the air, like "Don't hurt me" kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is your friend that betrayed us, so he's taking on a new hue.
we need to get you back to the abbot as soon as possible. We're coming searching for you.
That's where we were just at.
What?
We just came from the abbot.
But and what you and then she'll shake her head, she'll look at Artesia and say, "How's the wedding music going?"
Oh, it's much more than music. Very much more than music. I would be very sad, when we have to ruin everything and like tear all of the table placemats that I made myself, by the way. But it's going good. Yeah, and Kaidos is weird. So maybe we focus on that.
Nah.
What's
Oh,
up,
yes.
dude?
What?
I'm focused on letting him go in front of me at all times. Please, after you, my friend.
The abbot made me this way, and I only have a day to be like this before I have to be at the abbot's again.
Well, how did we have to fix you? But first we got to get the wedding dress.
I hope it takes less than a day.
Oh, should be cool. I think.
That key point that you used so far will last you another half hour, Kaidos. Oh, no, you don't need that. I'm sorry. God, getting ahead of myself. That's after you're done with the abbot's help. You don't need to use your key points anymore. So everybody at this point, just for reference, has experienced a long rest. And yes, the last thing the abbot said was, there is an abyssal incursion. That Nero and Vin were knocking on the door to the abyss, though they didn't know it yet. And then he basically allowed the Dark Lord to yeet you and Artesia here.
Michelle says her chat is being weird.
I fixed it. It's cool.
Oh, okay.
So, you've come here on account of the abbot in an abyssal incursion. Are you looking to make another deal?
You got the distinct impression the abbot wants you to kill this thing.
Oh no, I was.
Kill
That was a
Kaidos?
pointed question for Kaidos.
Oh, I know, and I was just letting Kaidos know, like, he got that. I know that I moved things a little quickly there as far as descriptions. I was just interested in getting people together so we could play. But, Kaidos, you definitely got the feeling that this was you need to go and help them deal with something.
Right.
Not
right.
make a deal, necessarily.
Wait, I may I do an insight on
Sure.
Kaidos?
Yeah.
I actually rolled it ahead of time. I forgot to ask. Sorry.
That's fine.
Does a 13 do anything?
You definitely know that it's him.
Okay.
You can tell, like, by his posture, the little things that are the tells of, like, this is a person that you've traveled with and fought with, and especially somebody who's a monk whose physicality so much makes up who they are. This is definitely the same person. There's just no hint of the tiefling that made him who he was.
But
He
I
just
don't
looks-
know if he's being totally straight with us or not.
He did fall down on his knees and kind of
Well.
ask forgiveness for...
Well, that's true, but he'll have to explain after we get to wetting the rest. I think the explanation would take too long.
I'm of the trust but verify mentality, so that's what I am.
That's fair.
The abbot has sent me. The abbot has said you are in great need of our help.
It's almost as if, like, punctuating what he said, you hear this, is a 3-story building, by the way, in front of you. This mansion has walls of plastered stone that display many scars where the plaster has fallen away from age and neglect. Drapes cover every window, including the large arch opening above the mansion's double entrance doors. And none of your passive perception caught anything that seemed amiss with this old mansion, but with as like I said, as if to punctuate what Kaido said, there's a loud as the curtains in that archway above the door kind of ripple, as if some force moved them. And Vin and Nero, make a perception check for me, please.
Yeah. I'm not rolling well tonight. Never. I shouldn't have spoken. I cursed myself. Yeah, there's another great roll. Perception, you said?
Mm-hmm.
13!
I'm assuming it has to do with sight, so I just gave myself the advantage.
The 20 is higher either way, so it works for me. It actually doesn't have to do with sight; it has to do with smell. But you catch it, Nero. You catch a whiff of sulfur, and then the rain and the breeze kind of whisk it away, and then it's just kind of wet and damp again.
Vin's got a cold. She can't smell very well.
Yeah.
It appears there's truth in your words.
Hold up.
We must hurry. There's sulfur on the air. So, with that, I would run in.
Okay.
I
Feel free to
will
move
follow
yourself, yeah.
him.
So the Baron went pretty much due south of where you're at now. There's actually a door there. And
I can't
the
see-
door's kind of still standing open. Vin, you can move yourself in. It should change what your
I can't see
perspective-
anything. Where are we?
Hang on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you have
Oh,
to
there
zoom,
we are.
You have to zoom way out and pan way around.
Well-
yeah, we're at the bottom of a
Well,
very
the
big pit.
problem is that the map, I had zoomed all the way out, but the map was behind Artesia. So I couldn't even see it was there.
Oh weird.
Hmm. I just had it
Oh.
way zoomed out. The map was tiny.
Yeah, I had it way zoomed out.
So yeah, let me get on the lighting layer and we'll remove some things so that way you can see
Bigger?
certain rooms. Nope, not that button. That beam of fire didn't happen. Don't worry.
Missed it.
So, yeah. Start taking out walls here. Allow you to see where things are.
Okay.
So there's a sitting room in there. There's a bunch of commoners, and the Baron and his wife, Lady Lydia, are entertaining a group of about 8 commoners. And when I say commoners, these are people that look bored out of their skulls and are just waiting for hot meals to arrive. Free hot
Who-
meals.
Who is this person right inside the doorway?
Right underneath. Oh, that's a maid.
That's a maid. Okay.
Mhm, that was the
so,
scullery maid that kind of came up and
I
reminded.
will keep my eye on her, but I will. Oh. I'll ask Kaidos to go in front of me.
When I open the door, I sniff the air to see if the smell of brimstone is any stronger.
Nah, you actually get a very strong smell of French onion soup in here. I suppose Barovian onion soup. Anyway, and yeah, there's fresh bread baking somewhere in a nearby kitchen, but no sulfur down here.
All right, in that case, I would move on.
Okay. This one here across the hall. Let's see.
Artesia's kind of gonna scoot up to Kaidos as they're kind of walking along and just be like, "So, what'd you do?"
Then we'll be eavesdropping. What are these, like barrels and crates and stuff, or what?
Yes, actually. Framed portraits adorn the walls of this grand foyer, which features a wide staircase with a sculpted railing. A long carpeted hall attached to the foyer stretches almost the length of the mansion, has several doors leading away from it, including one at the far end. Bundles of twigs are heaped against the walls.
Oh, twigs.
The maid says,
No,
mind the bundles of kindling, sorry, they're kind of keeping a whole lot of room in the house, but we're trying to keep them dry. The Festival of the Blazing Sun couldn't go off the other day because it's just started raining, and we've had it raining ever since. But yeah, sorry about the sticks, they're not normally here.
Oh, Jen will just think to herself, "Oh God, more twig blights."
Yeah, they look kind of like chopped up twig blights. I mean, you definitely get that, like, ugh.
Well, I am a
Feeling.
monster hunter, so
Yeah.
it's just we fought enough of those. Is this door open or shut?
That one, sure. One second. That one is also open. That is, it's a parlor. Contains a fine array of furnishings and draperies with an overall feminine touch. You get the feeling Lady Lydia likes to take her finer guests, more distinguished guests in here for more private conversations.
Okay.
Above the dining room, there's a chandelier of wrought iron fitted with wax candles. It's hanging above a polished wooden dining table. 8 women of various ages in comfortable high-back chairs, wearing faded clothes, and they're drinking tea. And then when the cake is brought out, as you're kind of exploring the mansion, and most of these people are just kind of leaving you to your devices. It's kind of a peculiar feeling, but the maid closes the door and doesn't pay you any mind as you poke around. A cake is brought out to the other guests, and it gets split up among the 8 women there, and they start devouring it. It's just absolutely, you could tell these people are starving, and that's the only reason they're here, is because they're hungry.
So would you say they let them eat cake?
Yeah, I would.
I was waiting for that.
This room here that Nero's looking in is it's a den. Padded chairs and couches line the walls of this cozy carpeted den. The room reeks of pipe smoke in here. Mounted on the east wall is the head of a very angry-looking brown bear. I suppose that's what this strange lump here is.
What strange lump?
I hope I don't hear the brown bear.
No,
Okay.
Ah!
this one here.
Oh, it looks like it's on the floor.
And then a few, like, a little bit longer goes by. You find the pantry, the kitchen itself. Here is kind of a servant's quarters. There's pretty typical downstairs. And then this time a little bit softer, but you all hear it. Even the maid, where she is over by the front door, where she's still moving these bundles of twigs around, kind of stops and looks at the ceiling, and you hear this.
That has made up my mind. I think,
Do you keep cats in the house?
The maid frowns, looks at you, and
Ah, you
shakes her
moved
head.
into the space I was going to move into, Nero. Darn you. Thank you, because Vin is going to start going up these stairs. Because I figure if she had this beautiful wedding dress, it would be in a trunk or something upstairs. It wouldn't be downstairs.
Sure, sure.
And we already told the dude we were going up.
Okay. So, Kaidos goes upstairs. Let me get on the right layer. Objects and tokens. Kaidos and Vin go upstairs. Just scroll up a little bit. Narrow. I'll bring you up to the bottom of the stairs there.
Okay, yeah.
You as well.
Alright.
Here, I'll shift click and bring you up.
No, it's okay. It's just my slider bar's being weird. I'm trying to get it in the center, and it keeps going everywhere but.
Should we be moving at our movement point?
Nah, we're not in
Pretty
initiative
much
right now.
free
So.
form?
Yeah, I figured Vin is just walking, looking, using her passive perception kind of thing, you know.
Once I round the stairs and I'm out of sight of the help, I want to casually draw my bow.
Okay. Nero, you are armed and ready. All right. Everybody make a perception check for me.
Okay.
Wouldn't you know it? That's a 27.
18.
Nat 20, by the way.
Yeah.
Nice.
Narrow 2.
Vin, you see what can only be described as the imperceptible ripple of somebody under the... I cannot believe you natural 20. You literally hit the DC for his sneak. The unmistakable ripple of somebody who's invisible walk past this banister above you, and then just basically, like, then you lose it. You get that slightest, that split-second chance of catching the magic slipping a little bit, and it's the outline of a humanoid, and they walk
But
past that banister, and then you don't see it again.
He's above me, though, right?
Yeah, it's on the same... Basically, you're halfway
No.
up the stairs, and Kaidos is at the top. He's on the same
Okay.
level as Kaidos somewhere.
I'm going
You're
to
not
move
sure
quickly
exactly where.
past Kaidos.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm on the right floor or not. I'm going to move past Kaidos.
So all of you,
Looking,
all of a sudden, Vin
listening.
darts up the stairs.
Yep.
Make a
But
perception
looking.
check.
Oh, boy.
Nothing is ever
you see something?
easy.
Vin?
Holy shit. Okay, I'm glad I
What's going
warmed up the dice, because that's a nat 18, so that's 25 perception.
Nothing.
What did I say? Are there doors up here?
Yeah,
that he could maybe
the
slip into.
not that you know of. There's no doors up here. There's a window that you're standing next to, and there's a window here. But I'm not on the right layer. Hold on. Objects and tokens. There we go. Window that you're standing next to. There's a window down here. A window here, but you don't see any doors yet. The hallway continues down here to your right. But that's all you can see so far.
All right, I'd like to cast a spell.
Okay. What would you like to cast?
Fairy fire.
Ooh, nice. Where are you putting it? Go ahead and draw it or show me. Because it's a
hold
10 by
on.
10?
I think so. Hold on. I just lost it.
It's okay.
I just lost the
Take your
page
time.
again.
No worries. Got it right here. F. It's tabbed.
60 foot or 20 foot. I guess 60 foot. I can cast it out to 60 feet, and it's a 20-foot cube.
Excellent. Okay, yeah, so it'll be a 4x4 cube. Where would you like that cube?
Well, since all I can see right now, 60. 1, 2, 3.
You want to basically put it in the corner?
I wanna, like, here. Did you see that? Here.
I saw the click. Let me draw you
Here.
a square.
Here. 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 And here.
So you want it like that? Because it's a 20-foot square, so it's 4x4.
Actually,
Does she have to be able to see the entire square, or can she put it so that
because
only
I
the
was thinking
She
of
can move it
putting
like this.
I
She
was
can do it
thinking
like
of putting
this.
it here.
Like that?
Yeah, that's good. My DC's only 11, but
Okay, no problem. Let me make that a purple. So you cast Fairy Fire. This 20-foot cube is outlined in blue, green, or violet light, your choice. I just picked violet, but
violet, yes.
all right. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in the light. If it fails a dexterity saving throw for the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius. The spell goes off, and you see nothing. It does last up to a minute.
Yep.
So that 20-foot cube, you now know if somebody invisible passes through it.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, you guys, it's just a verbal component, so you wouldn't have seen her really do anything. She just would have.
Whoops, sorry.
Yeah, as a non-spellcaster, I am decidedly lost. I'm like, what?
She just would have said some nonsense word.
Artesia looks at Vin and goes, "What did you see?
Nothing.
Are you sure?"
I saw nothing.
No, okay.
Invisible or something.
Okay, upon hearing invisible, I would like to run back downstairs
Okay.
and go to the kitchen area.
All right, let me grab you and move you real quick. Kitchen area. All right. Boop.
I'm looking for a bag of flour.
Good job.
No problem. You're able to grab it, and you want to just grab it and run back up.
Yep.
All right.
And
Get you
I've
about-
stowed my bow. I've got the bag of flour, over one shoulder and a dagger in the other hand, and I am ready.
Sure. Let's see.
I need 12-sided die. Keep track of this.
I need to pull up the stat block.
First
I did not
turn
realize I was going to be.
I need to get like a turn count somewhere. For how long a spell lasts, kind of thing.
Sure. Okay. I'm ready. You have your bag of flour. Takes you just a moment to get down there. So in that moment, Kaidos and Artesia make a perception check. Kaidos with disadvantage.
Natural 20! What does that make
Someone is breathing in your ear, Artesia.
At the moment she feels that, she just goes, ah! And she claps her hands really hard and casts Thunderclap.
Nice. Okay.
Right.
So, is that a saving throw?
Natural one.
Each creature within range other than you must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d6 thunder damage. Fuck, it's... what's the range? Oh, it's 5 feet. Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're good.
I was going to
And
say,
that's what's the spell? Thunderclap, you said?
Yeah, Thunderclap. It's my cantrip.
Oh, okay. Constitution saving throw.
You're looking for something better than a 16 or better.
Yeah, he definitely did not roll a 16 or better. So it's not concentration. Doesn't cause the invisibility to drop. However, roll damage. Yeah.
Yeah, roll damage, and then I just want to hear for like shuffling of feet as it claps, because I'm assuming it causes some sort of burst out of my hand. So as he gets hit with the thunder damage, I'm trying to hear for like stumbling or a noise of any kind being made.
Sure.
3 points of thunder damage.
As the thunderclap goes off, boom, you remember why it's called thunderclap, and it just kind of rumbles through the house. You have no hope of hearing anything like the shuffling of feet over that, unfortunately. But let's see here. Make a perception check. You just hear all of a sudden, like, because you rolled the natural one in perception, you're like looking at the portrait that's hanging on the wall right here, totally distracted and out of it. And you're like, you know, the fairy fire really makes this portrait pop really nice. Then all of a sudden, a literal thunderclap goes off 10 feet behind you. And you're just like, oh man, what the fuck? My ears! Like, it fucking hurts. And Artesia is standing there looking really panicked, staring at the corner. What was your perception?
I rolled a 19 for perception.
Okay. Yeah, you don't hear anything.
Fuck. What else do I have? I point over to the corner where I felt the breathing, and I go, that's the nothing. That's the nothing. It was right there.
There's nothing there.
Exactly.
Can you slap it?
She starts waving her hands in the air like, "Nyeh."
So, it's about this point when Nero comes back up the stairs, when Kaidos gets This Is Sparta'd through the banister.
Oh, fuck.
Make a reflex saving throw, Kaidos. He gets kicked in the chest as this massive 6.5 foot... this massive 6.5 foot tall, purple-skinned, demon-armed tiefling materializes as he steps into the fairy fire and boots Kaidos and tries... The banister breaks. Kaidos, you take...
Holy fucking shit.
9 points of bludgeoning damage as he kicks you in the chest. And what is your reflex saving throw to try not to fall 10 feet down to the floor below? Or is it more like 12?
I do have slow fall. So hold on, let's see. Reflex save is what do I need to do? Reflex?
Reflex saving. I'm sorry. That would be a dexterity saving throw. I apologize. Wow, 3.5 is still sticking in my craw.
Is
How many
it
years
normal?
later now? If you have something that would give you advantage on a dexterity saving throw, then I can't see why I would stop that. But otherwise, yeah, just normal.
Oh no, I was thunderclapped, so no, I don't.
Ooh, very nice dexterity saving throw. So you take the momentum of this kick and literally just do this little, without even expending key points, do this little poof, and land deftly on your feet a few stairs up. Let me get on the right layer here.
Huh?
as Nero rounds the banister with a bag full of flour. Unfortunately,
Let's just confuse me.
moments too late. What's
Just
confusing?
which is up and which is down. I'm just confused.
Okay, so what happened is
the one. Okay, the one on the right is going down. So we're on the 3rd floor, me and Artesia, correct?
no, you're on the 2nd floor.
We're on the 2nd floor.
This is a set of stairs that goes up, has a landing, and then turns up again. It's just, there's this little landing here where Nero is. That's like halfway between the floors.
So there's no, well, maybe down at the end of the hallway, way up to the 3rd floor.
Yeah, the 3rd floor, you haven't, these stairs stop on the 2nd floor. You don't see stairs that go up to the 3rd floor. That's correct.
Okay, that's, sorry, I'm just trying to get my environment.
No, I understand. Stairs on maps do that to me all the time. So it's totally cool. I was just about to like recount the events because I thought you didn't know what had happened there, but no. Basically, it's like a switchback for these stairs that go down to the 1st floor landing
Gotcha.
below. So with Strahd making the attack, it is at this point everybody can roll initiative. And he basically kicks and says, "Get out of my house!" and kicks Kaidos off of the banister. But there's like fire crackling around his big demonic hand, and oh yeah, let's get a turn
24.
order open.
I rolled a natural 20.
Hey.
Gosh. Let me add everybody.
See, I told you gotta warm up the dice there. So.
Alright, so Kaidos rolled, Nero rolled a 9. Oh, you got it, okay. Cost 4, Ezek, Dexterity. Holy shit, he got a natural 20 as well. However, his bonus is lower than yours.
Good.
So, Vin gets to go first indeed. Artesia, what's yours?
Minus 15.
15, alright.
I thought you said minus 15. I was like,
Oh.
damn.
Damn.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
What did you roll?
Because I totally want negative dice.
All right, so Vin, it is your turn first.
Okay. The first thing I am doing, as an action, I am using my hunter sense. Choose one creature. I can see him. You immediately learn whether the creature has any damage immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities, and what they are if the creature is not hidden from divination magic.
Okay. This creature has no resistances, no immunities. Was there anything else?
He's vulnerable to flower.
And no vulnerabilities.
No vulnerabilities. Okay,
Oh, no.
that's good to
Seems
know.
like a
No.
normal
Wow.
tiefling dude with a weird big arm.
Okay. He seems like a normal tiefling, guys. So, as a bonus action,
He's got
Okay.
these ram horns that are small.
I
kind
am casting Hunter's Mark.
Okay, Hunter's Mark on Strahd.
I yell up to Vin and Artesia. Does he look better than I used to look?
Yes!
Then just knock him out. We need to take him with us.
For the record, I liked the tiefling look. Artesia's gonna yell down.
Oh shit,
So
the
it's-
music just kicked in.
So it's Ezek's turn now. And he just cracks his neck as he turns and looks at you, Artesia, and he's like, "I was just gonna watch," and throws fire at you. Does a 17 hit.
Yeah.
Okay. So this purplish white flame, it's almost like he pulled it out of the fairy fire, but it's definitely coming from him, coalesces into this softball-sized orb in his hand, and he just underhand flings it at you. And you take 3d6. Okay. Exactly 10 points of fire damage.
Fuck. Bonus action. What's it called that tieflings have?
The
When you get
reaction,
in
Hellish
something?
Rebuke.
Hellish Rebuke. The hell is it? Hold on.
I think he has to make a reflex saving throw? Or,
I
sorry,
think it
dexterity
is.
saving throw?
Here, I
Hold
can
on.
tell you. Hold on. I got
Yeah.
it here.
Just
Because
call it
I
a
used to
reflex
have
sprint.
it.
We all know what you mean.
I gotta use the right term.
Do willpower. Do reflex. Who cares?
People who are looking at their character sheets and trying to follow along.
Oh,
And
I
who may
hadn't
not have
thought
played
of that.
3.5. And yeah, it's a
Okay, one
dexterity saving throw.
reaction
Mm-hmm.
is 60 feet, instantaneous. Yeah,
He
2d10 fire
fails.
damage on a failed save.
No.
uh,
He doesn't try. He hits you with the fire, sees your hands reel up, and goes, "Come on!" And then you hit him. Roll damage.
fuck. He's gonna like this. Damn it. It's probably
No.
2d10.
Mm.
18 points of
He-
damage.
God damn. Okay.
What
He
what
takes.
spell slot was it?
Hellish Rebuke, I think it's just like level 1.
No, it's
Sure
actually
is.
cast at second level.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay,
So
I
it's
was gonna
2d10.
say because it's 1d10 for each slot above the first.
Yep.
And if it's at second, then 2d10 is right. But if it's any higher, it could be 3d10 for.
Yeah, it's at second. So he takes that. He takes that damage, and you can watch as it burns his skin. He doesn't have any real resistance to it. And he just goes, "Good to see you, cousin," and unleashes the exact same thing back at you for 11 points of fire damage.
Fuck.
It's just his color of flame as
Well,
he,
she gets to
as a
make a save,
reaction,
right?
casts. Oh, yeah, you do have to make a dexterity saving throw
Oh,
first.
yeah.
So
It's,
if
well.
you meet his DC, then it will be half that.
Where's my save? Dex. I doubt it. A 14?
No, that's enough. That's enough for
Oh.
his DC.
Okay, so I only take 6 points of damage.
And are you the fire resistant brand of tiefling?
Ooh, yes.
So you take 3.
So I only take 3.
And it's your turn.
Okay. Okay, just a second.
The flames kind of wash over you, and you see the frown crease on his head. Like, oh, you got lucky, didn't you?
I'm always lucky. No, hold on. I always get lucky. And then she casts use one of my sorcery points for double casting.
Nice.
And she's gonna put mage armor on herself.
Good move.
Cast that. First level.
And you're
And
doing this with
then-
like a quicken spell?
Yes, sorry. Sorcery points for the quicken spell.
No, it's okay.
And then she is going to... Where is it? Sorry, I didn't realize I was coming up so fast.
It's okay. It's not often the sorcerer goes just immediately.
Mhm.
Excuse me for a moment.
Okay.
She is going to go ahead and cast Chromatic Orb at 3rd level. So let's
Okay.
see.
Now with quicken spell, the rule is if it's 2 spells, we changed it to a house rule of 2nd level or lower, right? There's a rule about
Oh.
casting 2 spells in a turn.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me get the spell casting. Let's see. Saving throws, combining magical effects.
It's usually just a cantrip. The second one has to be a cantrip, but you know,
Right.
anything your house rules awesome.
I think we had house ruled that the second one has to, like, the first can be any level, but the second one has to be second level or lower, because usually, and the reason for that was because so few spells were bonus actions, at least at the time. And I know that's what Mercer had house ruled. I don't know if he still utilizes that with all of the new stuff that's now out. So if that would change what you would do. We'll go ahead and... so far, I've been playing it like Mercer with second level or lower, so I would hate to change that now.
Yeah, no, that we can totally do it that way. That's fine. I can cast it one spell lower. That's fine.
Okay.
Um.
And yeah, I'll
Range
do some
select.
research on that and kind of analyze, like, now that we've got so much more content and so many more spells, if it's easier to... Because there's a lot more cantrips nowadays, but I don't know if there's a lot more bonus action cantrips, because that's what's important, so...
Yeah. Well, I only rolled a 12, so I don't think I hit him.
Let me look at his AC. Nope, not quite. He just kind of turns his chest and it glances sideways off of this studded leather armor that he's wearing. He's got a tattered old wolf pelt slung across his shoulders. Is that it for you?
I still have my bonus action, right? Because I used my... Well, it was my reaction to use Hellish Rebuke, and then I used
and
the
then it was your
Quicken
turn.
spell.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Okay,
I still have... Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and use my bonus action to cast Flame Blade, and a scimitar-looking flame pretty much just appears in my hand, and I can't... So it's a bonus action, so I can cast it, but I can't use it. But yeah, Mage Armor and then the Flame Blade I went ahead and cast.
If Flame Blade works like Shadow Blade, I believe that when you... It says as a bonus action and when you cast this spell. So if you... Part of casting Flame Blade is you can make... Because I think you can throw the Flame Blade, right? I know you can with a Shadow Blade. I don't know if you can with the Flame Blade.
No, it doesn't say anything about throwing it. It just says melee spell attack with the fiery blade.
Oh, okay. Well, you still have your movement, so if you want, you can absolutely move and make an attack with that. But you're also welcome to just cast it and hold it. Like, there's no pressure.
No, I can go ahead and... I'm going to try and attack this fool.
Okay.
I'm back, by the way.
You missed, Michelle. We had a little bit of figuring out spell discourse, and Artesia cast Flame Blade. And now she's hitting Ezek with it.
25 to hit.
Oh, it's a hit.
What's up, Sarah? I just had to go get my tablet because I forgot that was where I was keeping track of Vince's spells and stuff.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 12 points of fire damage.
All right, 12 points of fire damage. Damn. Is that it for you?
Yeah, she's gonna do the stupid thing of staying next to the giant creature as a caster right now. Because she's offended that he said that we're cousins, because holy shit, he's ugly AF.
Yeah, he's very mismatched and like lopsided. It's very strange. At least most tieflings, including Kaidos that you've seen before, is like they at least have the typical humanoid symmetry to some extent.
Sure.
He looks like he was kind of patched together from a couple of different ancestries, if there were such a thing.
Ugh.
Does he look like something that the abbot would have put conglomerated together?
If the abbot were fantastic and had crazy powers, you would say perhaps. This is like that kind of mishmash is what the abbot wishes he could make it look like, but he doesn't have scars. It doesn't look like he was literally pieced together from different beings, because he has one skin tone, but it's like the one arm is longer than his other, and it's too muscly, and is that a sixth finger on that hand? And it's like his horns are lopsided, and they're different sizes, and one curls forward and one curls backward. It's like there's some agent of chaos going on with how he is in general.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So Artesia though?
And yes, I believe that was it. So narrow
Yeah,
to
I'm
you.
done.
All right. I'm gonna move up to the top of the landing there,
Mhm.
and I imagine I've got clear line of sight.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. I drop the dagger in the bag of flour and draw my bow to shoot twice.
Roll to hit. Hit. Wah! 20 piercing damage.
Nice.
And one more time.
Also a hit.
Thunk.
23 piercing damage. He is beyond bloodied, and he just kind of does this kind of stumble. The Boromir look down at chest and what?
I call out, "You may surrender if you like. I've got more." To that end, I'm trying to decide whether I take my extraction or not, so that's on him.
He just looks down at the arrows in his chest, and you can tell he's just kind of got that swooning, like trying not to pass out from the pain. Why did you come into my house? Come snooping up the stairs.
We came to get the Baroness's wedding dress.
I came because I smelled brimstone.
I came because I lost control of my life.
He smelled. He just kind of looks at Artesia for a second, like kind of blinking against the fire of her flame blade and squinting in the heat of it, and he puts his hands up and he says, No, I don't want to die for this. You smelled it too.
Yeah. I had that arrow knocked, and I immediately just drop it. Like I'm not.
I think it's my brother. Listen, I'm adopted, but my blood brother is... He's been dealing with things that I don't think anybody should be dealing with. Come on. And he just turns and starts, he beckons you to come, and he reaches down and pulls one of the arrows out of his chest. He's like, and gets that out, and just kind of starts moving away. And
Hold, friend, hold.
Right of initiative, so y'all can move how you need to.
Okay, I'll head his way.
Artesia just kind of like puts her hands in the air like the universal "what the fuck" sign, and lets go of her blade so it disappears.
6.
I'll go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I feel kind of bad, and I give him one of the healing potions.
Oh.
He pulls the other arrow out, nods at you, and thanks you. He says, I thought perhaps you were friends of my brother's. Not that he should have friends. I remember the last time I saw him leave the attic. But he points at this stairwell going up here, and again, almost as if punctuating what this person is saying to you. He drinks the healing potion, gains some hit points back, and you watch the arrow holes close. He's still pretty much right at bloodied. Big old scorch marks from Artesia's spells. And he, as he points toward the stairway, you again hear...
Is that your brother?
No. My brother doesn't sound like that.
Son, what is that?
Your
Hey
guess is
guys,
as
where'd
good
you
as
go?
mine.
Come up. Up here.
What's going on?
As you reappear, Ezek looks around the corner and he's like, sorry about kicking you, but you're strangers in my house. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Him, who almost died in a matter of 6 seconds, is like, okay, well, I'm not. And so he literally sits down on the floor right here in this hallway, just kind of in the middle of the walkway, and like puts his head up against his hand. And he says, "My brother has been obsessing over experiments with leeches and trying to find a gateway out of Barovia. He doesn't have a lick of magical talent, or so I thought, until about, I guess it was about 5 minutes ago. There was a loud thump, the smell of sulfur, and I keep hearing that."
Just quickly, how fried does Artesia look?
I wouldn't say she looks very fried just because she has an immunity, a resistance to fire. She's got a little bit of smoke around like her cheeks and her nose, and she smells like firewood, but I think she'd be okay. She's not down by much.
Okay. If she only looks slightly singed, I won't bother handing her a healing potion. Okay, sorry to interrupt. I just need to know before something possibly disastrous happened.
You take care of my idiot brother, and I'll owe you. Doesn't hurt to have the last remaining, even adopted son of the burgomaster owe you a favor, does it?
Nothing.
I don't know what kind of messia is waiting for you up there. You came up the stairs before I could go up those stairs. And I can only turn invisible once a day.
It's more than me.
It's a useful trick. Don't ask me how I earned it.
But I can try moving stealthily up the stairs.
Okay. Roll stealth. Anybody else want to do anything as Vin crouches down and begins making her approach? There's lots of other hallways and doors up here.
I'm gonna keep to the back of a hallway.
I'm going to keep to the corner so that I can still see, but my mage armor's still going, so I'm just going to hang back until we see what we see.
It's
Sure.
here, right,
Yep.
Greg?
Yep, those are the stairs up.
Okay. I rolled well, I can't roll a 23, but I got a 23 for my stealth.
Okay, let me double check something.
And I'll have my swords out.
Okay. I assume everybody's still kind of at the ready after that.
Well, I'm actually drawing them now. I had never drawn.
Fair enough. Let's see here.
I don't need to pull out my bow. Because Nero's a lot better than I am.
Genuinely expected that to last a little longer, but I'm ready. Here we go. Alright. Little eye. Staircase climbs, it's 20 feet, damn, to a beautifully appointed gallery that continues toward the west, running almost the length of the mansion. Framed landscape paintings line these walls, and red silk drapes cover a 10-foot tall arched window of leaded glass. You come to this staircase here at the end. Gotta love book layouts that mess with you like that. Where does that go?
I don't know why you said that, man.
Let me see.
Weren't you asking about being able to track things?
What? I'm sorry. I gotta turn you up.
Didn't you say you wanted to know how to track something that you would catch?
No, I know how to track. I'm a ranger.
There it is. Okay, trapdoor in the ceiling. All right, as you come up this staircase, it's just a very narrow staircase here. There's a trapdoor at the top of it, in the ceiling above you.
Okay.
And it's not locked or anything like that. It lifts above you, and this dusty 20-foot square room has a high-pitched ceiling that reaches its peak about 20 feet above you. The wooden rafters are shrouded in cobwebs, except for an old table with a lantern on it. This room is empty. And I'll just go ahead and grab everybody and move them there. Bear with me. Shift-click to move you to the right place. And let me get here with the dynamic lighting.
Being silent, Vin would point to Nero and have him come up behind her. Because that's the only
Right.
door, correct?
Right.
Okay, so she's going to enter that space, but she wants Nero with his bow right behind her.
Sounds good.
Let's see, where is my... Here we go. That's the... So you hear this kind of rattling, shuffling, thumping coming from beyond the walls of this room and probably again through another set of walls. It sounds like there's quite a bit of distance between you and it, but now you're more consistently hearing this.
I will head
Scraping,
in
thumping.
that direction, keeping my eyes out for the brother. If this is a giant leech, I'm going to be so mad.
So
Is that
you're heading
considered
out.
a
That's
rock?
a window. The door is here south of Kaidos. So you
Oh,
come
I'm
here
sorry.
into
I went.
It's okay. So this room up here, this
What a
just
mess.
massive attic, and let's see here. It's just full of old, forgotten things draped in white sheets. Piled around you are barrels, crates, trunks, and old furnishing covered with cobwebs and dust. You do see a kind of clear footpath through the maze, though, that kind of dotted line you see there. And it leads to a door that's just ever so slightly ajar on the other side.
I will still silently move towards that door.
What was your stealth score again?
Let's see. I rolled 16 plus 7 was a 23.
Okay. Yeah, you don't hear any sound, any change in sound from this creature. You keep hearing the shuffling and the thumping as though it's, the closer you get, you're certain that it's testing something. Are the rest of you following her?
Yeah, I'd be following
yeah.
at a little bit of a distance.
Okay.
Yeah, without hesitation.
Yeah, feel free to move yourselves. Vin, you get to about there, and 5 skeletal cats, though they're not aggressive, just come darting like cats do all of a sudden out of the room in a clatter of bones and curious, hollow, empty eye sockets. And they hop up on crates and barrels and various and sundry things, and they just kind of stare at you curiously as they pick their way across the detritus and the mess. But they don't
Aw.
attack you. They just kind of as though, ooh, doors open. And kind of start exploring. You see one of them literally runs past Kaidos and pounces on a mouse, shakes it, snaps its neck, and walks off proudly and disappears into the crates. You hear crunching.
Uh,
Am I the only one that thinks they look really cute?
Are you
yes.
speaking aloud when I'm trying to be quiet?
Guests! Come in! Come in!
Damn it, Artesia.
Come talk to Frog!
Gotta be.
For anybody
Oh.
who steps through the door,
That's me.
this large, vulture-winged, bipedal, massive clawed creature, gray skin and piercing blue eyes with, well, it seems like it's been crying blood, but maybe it just has bloody eyes, who knows. Come in, come in. And it's been pacing in what is clearly a very meticulously drawn circle of chalk. Hello, little drow.
What are you?
Rock.
Actually, I'm gonna move one more up. That way somebody else can peek in the door.
Sure.
What is a rock?
This kind of stands up and gestures to itself. You come looking for Victor?
No, came looking for wedding dress.
Its head tilts. Very curious expression. I don't have one of those. You didn't come looking for a dress. You came looking for information.
Information is always good too, but I really did come looking for a dress. Probably in one of those boxes out there.
Perhaps I did not ask Victor for a dress.
Can I roll persuasion that, like, I'm telling the truth kind of thing?
I mean, it's just kind of, it doesn't not believe you.
Okay.
It's just still regarding you. This room is, someone carved a large skull into the door. And you notice hanging from the doorknob of this now pushed open door is a little wooden sign scrawled out, "All is not well." And someone has taken this old mismatched furniture and created a study in this dusty lamplit chamber. Tables are strewn with pieces of equipment on which strange diagrams are drawn, and a freestanding bookshelf holds a collection of bones. Dusty rug covers the floor in front of a pine box, and one of the skeletal cats comes back and lounges on it. Several more skeletal cats, as you know, skulk around outside, and naturally and most unnerving as all is the sight of the Vrock standing in front of you.
Artesia points to one of the cats and goes, Did you make that?
No. Victor's not here anymore.
What happened to Victor?
I granted his request. He wanted out of Barovia. I requested one of his senses.
What does that mean? What do you mean? What?
There's always a prize. He wanted out. Nothing comes for free. He agreed to trade one of his senses. Ironic. He wanted to see other lands. He won't be seeing anything.
You took his sight!
He blinks at you with bright blue eyes that did not belong to a demon. I did. I got him out. Wedding dresses don't cost eyes. No fear. Information can get costly.
Then I don't think I want your information.
Fair. Not everyone has the stomach for it.
Well, I think
However, I
Kaidos
will
likes
give
those
you
deals.
a gift if you so much as scratch a line in this perfect spell circle.
You
I
want
know.
out.
I do. I do. You want the incubus Carpentagia. He's not here, but I know where he's hiding.
Huh. Make a deal with one demon, find another? Is that what you're suggesting?
Tale as old as time.
Yes. And let's say that I wanted to make such a deal with you, and I'm not saying I am. Let's be perfectly clear about that.
Yes, hypothetical understood.
Yes. What would you want in return?
Break the circle. I tell you his location. The deal is done. No catch. Simple.
And what happens to us once we break this circle?
Oh, clever hunter. I'll leave you all in one piece. I won't even harm the cats. I might take one. They're cute. He kind of reaches over and scritches the one that's sitting on the pine box next to him, because it's in the circle with him. He just... Or anyone in the house. Fine.
What will you do once you're released?
Go back to Ravenloft. The master has been wondering where I am, I assume. And he'll wonder why I let someone out. But I have eyes.
I think we may also want your non-interference with us going forward. If you're working with the Master and wish to return to Ravenloft, let's just say I have business to attend there later, and, well, I wouldn't want to have to do anything to those nice eyes of yours.
Not one for honor, but honor can be upheld. I can be peaceful with you going forward. I promise. Life for life.
All right. What do I know about demons, and is there any way to bind them to their promises, or is there any lore to that effect?
You know that they are bound to their promises. They are bound to, if they tell you in making a deal, I won't harm you, they literally won't be able to bring themselves to do so. They can posture and scream and act like they're going to threaten you, but they can't lay a hand on you. And you know that that's pretty common knowledge. And at least from what you saw happen with Kaidos, well, no, I suppose Nero wasn't really anywhere around any of that, so that happened very much under wraps. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, as far as your knowledge is concerned, their word is absolutely their bond.
Interesting. Well, you'll forgive me if I'm not wanting to engage in any deals, as I've seen what's happened to my compatriot here. And I give a head nod to Kaidos.
Tilts its head, looks at Kaidos. Ah, so you're the one he used. He doesn't know what he has.
He doesn't know what he had.
Correct. You have that advantage on him.
When you say him, do you mean Carpadagia or our friend
Yes.
here?
Carpadagia.
Huh. Well, what say you, fellows? We have his word that he will neither harm nor impede us going forward. And I make emphasis on the nor impede us as an amendment to the deal.
Honestly, I'm for it.
Break the circle and the deal is struck.
So, again, to clarify, you will give us the information of Carpadagia's whereabouts, and you will neither harm nor impede us, nor harm anyone in this house.
Correct. It's looking at
It's
you
good enough for
hungrily.
me if it's good enough for you, fellows.
Then I'll give a curt nod.
All right.
And she'll look at Kaidos with an eyebrow raised.
Hey, I'm not gonna keep you guys from making some weird decision. I ain't got no ropes to hang from anymore.
All right. So I'll take my dagger and fling it at the edge of the spell circle, breaking the edge of it.
Find the weeping woman in the village of Barovia. Carpadagia has taken her place, hiding in plain sight while he gathers power. The deal is struck. And it just bashes its way bodily sideways out this window, somehow fitting its massive gangly frame out of it. The shards of glass explode outward with it, its wings flap once and it's out of sight, and the glass wings backward and seals the window as though it had never been broken.
Good. I guess we need to get the Barovia.
That was the easiest thing we've ever done since we got to this godforsaken place.
While we're up here, let's look for the wedding dress.
Sure. I'll retrieve my dagger and make sure and get the ritual.
He
stuff off of
absolutely scooped up the skeletal cat that was next to him in one of his big claws.
No.
Well,
Aw.
there's
Not
other
like
ones.
it was definitely a ginger you're coming with me.
Oh, okay, good.
It's like I have a crib.
Yeah.
There are others if you want the pet, Artesia.
How long have we been gone?
About an hour has passed by this point, kind of wandering around the house, finding your way here, being attacked by Ezek. And as he flies away and you see the inside of this spell circle, you just see the little drops of blood as the only real remnants of Ezek's brother that apparently had been here, and the lingering smell of sulfur from the Vrock. And that is where we're going to stop for tonight.